Bloody Sunday, a tragic event that unfolded on March 7, 1965 in Selma, Alabama, stands as a pivotal moment in the American civil rights movement. This essay delves into the significance of Bloody Sunday, its historical context, the events that transpired, and its profound impact on shaping the trajectory of civil rights in the United States. To understand the significance of Bloody Sunday, one must grasp the broader context of racial discrimination and the struggle for civil rights in America during the 1960s. Despite the abolition of slavery a century earlier, African Americans continued to face systemic racism, segregation, and disenfranchisement across the southern states. Despite legal victories such as Brown v. Board of Education in 1954 and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, racial inequality persisted, particularly in the realm of voting rights. On March 7, 1965, civil rights activists led by John Lewis and Hosea Williams organized a peaceful march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, to protest the denial of voting rights to African Americans. As they crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge, they were met by a brutal onslaught of state troopers and local law enforcement officers armed with batons, tear gas, and rubber hoses. The violent crackdown left many demonstrators injured, including John Lewis, whose skull was fractured. Bloody Sunday reverberated across the nation, sparking outrage and galvanizing support for the civil rights movement. Images of peaceful protesters being beaten and bloodied by law enforcement shocked the conscience of Americans and drew attention to the urgent need for voting rights reform. The brutality of Bloody Sunday catalyzed public opinion and pressured the federal government to take decisive action. In response to Bloody Sunday, President Lyndon B. Johnson addressed a joint session of Congress declaring, "We shall overcome," and calling for the passage of comprehensive voting rights legislation. This pivotal moment led to the introduction and eventual passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which prohibited racial discrimination in voting practices and empowered the federal government to enforce voting rights protections. Bloody Sunday also marked a turning point in the tactics employed by the civil rights movement. The non-violent protests and moral authority of the demonstrators contrasted sharply with the brutality of their oppressors, garnering sympathy and support from the broader public. The courage and resilience displayed by the activists on Bloody Sunday inspired subsequent generations of civil rights leaders and activists to continue the fight for justice and equality. The legacy of Bloody Sunday endures as a symbol of the ongoing struggle for civil rights and social justice in America. The Edmund Pettus Bridge, once a site of violence and oppression, now stands as a hallowed symbol of courage and resilience. Each year, on the anniversary of Bloody Sunday, thousands gather to commemorate the sacrifices of those who marched for freedom and to reaffirm their commitment to the ongoing struggle for equality. Thank you kindly for watching.